Good morning, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to day 20, another edition of albums that are 50 years old in 2021. Of course, we're talking about that magical year of 1971. So many great releases, a historic year in the history of rock and roll, and everything from that year, now in this year, turned 50 years old. So 28 days of February. My 28 favorites. Each day I'm picking a different favorite along with an honorable mention. So altogether you're getting for this entire month 56 of my favorite selections from the magical year of 1971. And of course I'm asking everybody to kind of play along, right? This is the play along show. Everybody else watching, also contribute in the comments below your favorite pick. Put together your own list of 28. Hopefully you've been doing it all the way up until today, right? We've gone through 19 days. We've been going all the way up to the 28th. And then we'll do like a wrap-up, and I'll probably read off my entire list once again. But today we're at day 20, and I'm really excited to talk about this particular one. So this album is by a band or a guy, an artist who I've been listening to, I've got a good chunk of my life. And this is an album, I think, that has resonated with me even more as time has gone on. It's an album, from an era in his catalog, and a band in his catalog that I always kind of dug, but I think I'm appreciating more the older I'm getting, because the players are amazing, the songs on here are amazing, and I have found that this album has really started rising up the ranks, up the ladder, so to speak, when I kind of look at his overall discography. So, of course, this was released October 25th, 1971, recorded at Island Studios in London, England. Released on the Epic label, produced by the man himself. I'm talking about the Jeff Beck group, Rough and Ready. All right. Kick-ass album that, really, I think, foreshadowed what he was going to be doing not too long afterwards, all right, with the, Blow by Blow and Wired and on, There and Back and all those, that great period of instrumental jazz rock. I think, here you're really starting to hear it, as opposed to, talking about those first couple of Jeff Beck albums, Jeff Beck group of Rod Stewart, right, which are more blues rock affairs. Here, you've got a little bit about that bluesy nature going on, but there's a lot of jazz influence, a lot of funk. All right, you've got Beck here on guitars, plays a little bass, right? Producing, obviously, you got Bobby Tench on board, vocals, rhythm guitar, Max Middleton, piano and keyboards, Clive Chaman on bass guitar, and of course, Cozy Powell, the man. There he is, Cozy Powell on drums. This album, 7 tracks, doesn't overstay its welcome at all. You got the incredible, I just absolutely love Got the Feeling. I love it. It's kind of heavy. It's kind of funky. Tons of grooves and little bits of jazz. Got those great riffing and soloing. It's got the atmospheric parts. Awesome vocals by Bobby on that. Then you got Situation, another really cool song. Short Business is short and sweet but rocking. Then you got Max's Tune, the longest song on the album, which instrumental. Total jazz fusion. All right, you can totally hear in that song where Jeff was going. Then over on side 2 of the vinyl, you got I've Been Used, another good up-tempo song, rocks, it's funky. And then you got New Ways / Train, another extended piece, a lot of different sections. Really good guitar riffing and soloing, right? Cozy locked in on the drums, got a jazzy feel, it's got a bluesy feel, plenty of rock, bit of funk. And then, of course, you got Jody to end the album. And again, some really nice soloing from Beck on that. And just a, really strong album. Vocally really good, instrumentally just off the charts. There's a sense of groove to the whole album. I like the looseness of the arrangements on this album, yet it's got that jazz sensibility, right? And it's got the locked-in quality with the funk that they're bringing in. So just a really, really fun album to listen to, and you play it, and you get swept away in it, right? There's just grooves everywhere, riffs everywhere, tasty soloing. Awesome stuff. Really, really like this album. And like I said, this is one of the Jeff Beck albums that I have found. I had so much history with so much of his catalog, but I find that this album, particularly in more recent years, I find I'm listening to a lot more than some of the other stuff that, of course, I've played to death over the years. So really good stuff. If you haven't heard this album, I urge you to go check it out, because it's definitely one of the most underrated albums in his catalog. So how about an honorable mention, right? And this one, man, the fact that this didn't make my cut of 28, it just goes to speak of the high quality of albums that were released in 1971. I'll show it once I, reveal what this is. A lot of you are going to be like, "Oh my God, how did that not make his list of 28?" Well, because there's so many freaking good albums from 1971. So this was released in October of 71, recorded at Sound Techniques and Morgan Studios in London, and this actually came out on various labels: Sire Records, Imperial, and Blue Horizon, produced by Mike Vernon. I'm talking about Focus 2 Moving Waves. All right. That great Dutch band, Focus, who pretty unique, right? Were they prog? Were they jazz fusion? Were they hard rock? I mean, little bits of everything on here. A lot of big metallic riffing on some sections here. Crazy soloing. You got the yodeling. You got the jazzy bits. You got the definite prog rock stuff going on. Jan Ackerman. I mean, come on. One of the unsung guitar heroes of the 70s. This is a fantastic album. Hocus Pocus was the big single from here. Lodiana, 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 Lo-po-po. I mean, everybody knows that song. Everybody loves that song. Not really indicative of the rest of the album, though, but a great song. Classic song, right? You got Les Clochards. You got Janis. Amazing Jan Ackerman songs here, right? He wrote or co-wrote most of this album. You got the title track, Focus 2, and then probably for me, the reason to really dive into this album is the multi-part 23-minute Eruption. Okay? Nothing to do with the Eddie Van Halen thing. Eruption is just a awesome slice of progressive / jazz fusion, a long form composition, broken into many parts with some just absolutely splendid playing from the band, some great melodies, some jaw-dropping musicianship. You got the flutes and the Hammond organ and the guitars, and just it all makes sense. It's an amazing long form composition that I think, when we talk about those great extended pieces, those lengthy epics in the history of prog or fusion, for whatever reason, Eruption doesn't always come into the discussion, and it should. It's just really great stuff. Mr. Van Leer's flute and organ, awesome on here. Like I said, Ackerman's guitar, the whole band, just really talented. And one of the more underrated bands, I think, of the 70s. Focus cranked out a handful of really great albums throughout this decade. And this is, if it's not their best, it's one of their best, right? So a lot of good stuff from Focus. If you haven't seen, I did a pretty cool Ranking the Album show on Focus, a year or so ago, which was pretty, a lot of fun to do. So really a good catalog here, really solid stuff. So there you have it, everybody. My picks for today. My main choice, Rough and Ready by the Jeff Beck Group. My honorable mention, Focus 2 Moving Waves, or just Moving Waves. It's called both, right? 2 excellent albums. And for, I've seen over the course of the last 19 days, quite a few of you have chosen this as one of your picks, and I applaud that, right? I wish there were more days in February, because I would have loved to have expanded my list. But you know what? Like I've been saying, it's like, I think as long as these albums are getting mentioned, whether they make the main pick or the honorable mention, the fact that we're talking about them is the important thing. So everybody, watch, add in your pick of the day and your honorable mention, and get ready for day 21 tomorrow, right? So stay tuned for that. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Of course, we're on YouTube all the damn time. So what's coming up, you might ask? So momentarily, coming up right after this, we're going to do a little unboxing and review of the Black Sabbath Volume 4 Super Deluxe box set. All right, so that's coming up today. We've got tomorrow, another edition of albums that are 50 years old in 2021. Then we've got Monday. I probably should just read you my schedule, right? Because the schedule is jam-packed over the next week, people. All right, so here we go. Monday, of course, is the Hudson Valley Squares, right? You know that. So the Hudson Valley Squares live on Monday night. The theme of Monday is we're picking a year, and everybody's going to be giving our 3 favorite albums from that year. 1982 is the year. Also, Monday, Butch Jones and I are going to be continuing, okay, so we're continuing on the Perfect Album series. So Martin Popoff and I did the first 2 episodes. Butch Jones is going to join me on episode number 3, so we're each going to list 5 albums that we feel are absolutely perfect, start to finish. And in a week, Guitar Hack is going to join me on the show, and we're going to do episode 4 of Perfect Albums. So that is coming up a week from then. We've got on Tuesday, we've got the debut show of In the Prog Seat. Okay, I've got 3 splendid guests joining me on this particular inaugural episode. The topic is our favorite prog or prog metal concept albums. Should be a good one. So that is coming up on Tuesday. On Wednesday, my man Stephen Reed from Scotland coming back on the show. He and I are going to be doing a UK prog rock primer, our favorite 20 albums all time from UK prog acts. All right, so our favorite UK prog albums going from the 60s all the way to the modern day. So each of us are going to list our 20 favorites. All right, also Wednesday night, Martin Popoff and I will be live at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Live show. Tune in for that, where Martin and I are going to be talking about our favorite solo records from guys in notable bands that they released while they were still in those bands. Okay, that one has been requested numerous times, so that's coming up on Wednesday. On Thursday, we got a couple of good ones. We got a live Monsters Den, once again, at 7 this time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday the 25th. Jamie Laszlo's joining the Trio of Doom. So we've got myself, Chris Sallow, Rich Catino, Jamie Laszlo, an hour's worth of discussion on the Evil Dead film series. Okay, so the Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness. We're going to be talking about that for an hour live here on the channel. Then after that, I've got a really cool program coming up with a really big guest star. I'm not going to reveal the guest star, but the topic is our favorite double albums of all time. Studio albums. Favorite studio double albums. Okay, so that's coming up on Thursday, and then, we'll get into the week after that. So that's what's coming up on the channel next week. So lots of good stuff. Of course, we're going to finish out the albums that are 50 years old as well, and there's other ranking the album shows and things coming up. Steve Keeler and I, over the next probably 2 weeks, are going to be ranking the catalog of Norwegian black metal legends Immortal. That is coming up as well, so stay tuned for all this and more on the channel, right? www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. See you guys later on. Bye-bye.